Thank you. Welcome everybody to our special full council meeting today. It's on the 14th of June. Firstly, apologies that the Mayor is unable to join us, so I'm chairing the meeting as the role of the Deputy Mayor. The first item on the agenda is 120/22, declarations of any disclosable pecuniary interest, please. I see none. None come forward. Thank you. So 121/22, apologies for absence, please.
From Councillor Cannon, Councillor James and Councillor Parker.
Thank you, Karen. So then 122/22, to receive the internal audit report. As the clerk has mentioned, it's rather small to put up on the screen. I have a copy in front of me. I don't know whether I wish to hand over Fiona to take us through that or highlight any things that we should be aware of.
Absolutely. I was going to propose it has been read, so that I'm going to go through each of the items that I can take questions. The things I just wanted to highlight is that we found it to be a very good report, a very good control system that's in place. We only made one very minor recommendation. It was regarding the website to have copies of the final and approved policies on the website. We did find the website very easy to use and navigate, and it was very comprehensive. So that was the only minor recommendation that we made. Everything else that we looked at and what we covered, looking at the governance processes, minutes of committees that were approved by full council, the financial risk assessment, trial balance, looking at aged creditors, invoicing, purchase ordering, looking at approval of the precept, debt collection, petty cash, payroll, and all of those were found to be in order of what we expect. The Sage financial system that is used was very good for keeping the records, the financial records, and they all seem to be in order. So there wasn't a huge amount I was going to say about it, but I'm more than happy to take questions.
I think that this has been gone through the Finance Committee, so again it's another assurance for us that it has been looked at in quite detail by the Finance Committee. But I'll throw the floor open to questions if anybody's got anything they wish to ask.
Okay. Yep, thank you. Thank you for the report. I had a read through. The bit that jumped out at me, funny enough, was the website, because our website is something that residents particularly complain to me about quite a bit in terms of actually having difficulty finding up-to-date information, partly because, as you mentioned, it's comprehensive. There's so much on there. Yeah. You guys, I'd imagine, are probably more aware of council websites and how to find things, whereas residents certainly have struggled to access stuff. So I just wondered if you could expand on your comments about the website and what particularly you found useful about it, and what's on there from your point of view, and maybe what's not on there that may be on other websites.
Oh, absolutely. So in terms of what's not on there, it really is around the approval of having those final approved policies on there. In terms of what is on there, I didn't personally undertake the audit, so if there wasn't anything that I can get further comments on it, I will go back to the auditor to see if there's anything in particular, and I can then come back to you on that. But absolutely, everything was on there and it wasn't expensive. Yes, absolutely, we are used to looking at websites, we're looking at used to, and the different array of how the websites are pulled together, it can be very difficult sometimes if people aren't aware of what they're looking for to actually navigate that system. So I think in terms of, if you would like us to look further into that particular issue, I'm more than happy to do so, and to give something more detailed feedback. But absolutely, I do find if there's a website that you're not used to or you're not familiar with the things that you're looking for, sometimes it can, or you don't really know the document that you want to search for, sometimes it can be difficult in that respect for the general public.
I think if that is a summary that could be circulated, it'd be quite useful for us, because we are in the process of looking at the new website, and obviously we'd hope to take into account anything there that would be useful or clearer.
Absolutely. The things that the best practice or good practice websites that we see is generally around where it is ease of use, what's actually standing out. So you've got things in a particular audio where they can click on it and then go down a certain path, rather than trying to navigate something that would have a long list. You might have, say, governance documents that you could click on, go down that path, and then you fall into the committee minutes. You might have something around the financial area, or you might have something around what's happening, what people have got an interest in, and what they a particular subject matter, and that always navigates very well. Yeah, absolutely. Sometimes if you are looking for something, you can get lost down a rabbit hole, and unless you know what you're looking for, it's very difficult to search.
Okay, thank you. Is there any further comments or questions, please? No. Okay, so then I think we need to move to the decision required to note the internal report and review the adequacy of the management's response. So in terms of the responses, we've got those on here. Are we happy that there's nothing further to add, Town Clerk?
No, we went through this prior to the finance meeting, and in fact, the only thing that was put on there, the management comments, because it mentions me, so I better say that, haven't I? We note and accept the comments. The Town Clerk has already started a process to ensure all our public policies and procedures are updated when required, and the updated copies put on the website. In review of the documents highlighted in your review, the documents will be updated on the website. So we actually actioned the one that hadn't been updated, and we are going through personnel for those who are on personnel. This month kicks off the review of all our policies. Happy days.
Okay, so therefore, is the council show of approval to note the internal report and note the management's response? We pass that. We agreed?
We need a
proposer and a seconder, I understand. Anybody willing to propose? Barbara, as you have seen it in detail. And a seconder, please. Thank you, Susie. All in favour of adopting it? Thank you. It's carried. Then we move on to 12322, the approval of the AGAR accounting statement. Basically, this is a document, if you've not seen it, it's basically summarises all our incomes and outgoings and what we've got left as reserves going forward. It's a formal document we have to sign each year. Has that been circulated?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's the one that you've got to sign.
Yes, you've signed it. So are we happy to approve that AGAR accounting statement, please? So do we need a proposer and a seconder for that?
Yes.
Yep. So we need a proposer, Terry, seconder.
Oh, you're asking?
Sorry, Terry. I led you down that one. Terry, sorry.
No, I was just going to ask. I had a read of both the documents that were sent, and it just jumped out at me. But it's certainly for the first time I've seen it. I may be wrong, but for the first time, expenditure on staff costs has now gone over £500,000 for the year. It's the first time I've seen it sort of over that amount for the period ending 31st of March. It's been creeping up towards that for a while, obviously, but now it is actually over £500,000. And I just think it'd be really useful for us as councillors if, one, we could be sent an updated staff structure, because there's been quite a lot of changes, and I must confess, I'm not on personnel. I couldn't tell you, what the structure is at the moment. And also a comparison year on year of full-time equivalents. Because what I'm keen to understand is the increase because of salary growth and increases in national insurance and pension contributions, or is it because we've increased the number of staff? I suspect it's probably tax and national insurance increase that's pushed it over, but certainly the public want to know, is our staffing complement increasing? So that would be really good to know full-time comparison.
Yeah, we actually have less staff. And what, of course, didn't help this year was the pay review was over a year late. And so then we had to pay a year's back pay to everybody as well. So that may have sort of affected the cost as well. But I think Alan is the person who'll be able to deep dive that for you.
So just a question, do we have to do full-time equivalents for accounts wise? I know if you're publishing a company's accounts, that tends to be a disclosure that we do. From the auditor's point of view, would they have that in the return at all?
I would need to double check.
Okay.
Yeah, I can do that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the only other thing, is I noticed on the precept or rates and levies for the AGAR, it says excludes any grants received. Historically, we don't have huge amounts of grants as a town council, but we have more recently. And I couldn't see where else on that list that we track grants received. I'm thinking heritage lottery and that sort of thing. So one, just where is the, the grants that have been
I think
received?
that's in 3, Terry, it says includes any grants received.
Right. And then presumably, because it's separated there, but it's gathered in with the payment section. So it's all payments, not separating out grants, but all the income is separated out. I just wanted to better understand that because, as I say, we have had more grants in the last 12 months or 2 years.
Yeah, I think generally they try and split out income to try and give you this level for your precept, and any other exceptional extraordinary income would be separate to that. So you've got a better handle on for the precept. So it's the statutory headings that we have to apply to. So because there are payments, they have to go in payments and they're all grouped together. So the standard layout, I believe, that we have to comply to, but obviously behind that there is the information which finance would be party to give you that breakdown.
Yeah.
So if there's no further questions, I need a proposer and a seconder to adopt it. Chris? Dennis to second, thank you. All those in favour of adopting the AGAR? Thank you. Any against? No abstentions. All good. Right, that brings to the end of the formal proceedings, I think. So thank you very much for your attendance.
Thank you very much. But that was a very, very short and sweet. Thank you very much, because I know that you had quite a way to come.
Yeah, no, I'm more than happy, absolutely with that. And in terms of the questions raised, obviously, I'll come back on that. And in terms of the website as well, what I'm also, if you wanted to get in touch, so I can, if there's anything in particular that you have the concerns around the website, I'm more than happy to help support with that as well.
Super.
Lovely.
Thank you very
Thank you
much.
very
Thank you very much.
Have a nice journey back.
Thank you very much.
The meeting's closed until the planning one at 7.